We're at the zoo. Why are we at the zoo? It's cold for the zoo.
Did you ever see a tiger?
No.
The tiger was something that I knew we had to pull off in a way that was going to really explore the intimacy of Frances Dollarhide and Reba McClane's relationship.
Dee, I'd like you to tell me what you see, if you don't mind.
He's striking.
It's my most memorable memory in the book is that tiger scene, and that's only because when I read it, it was so, I remember turning the pages and just these images popping off the page. It was so vivid. The way he wrote it out, it was crystal clear. It was, every detail was layered in there. And so when I got to set and we were filming that, I wanted to capture it as it was captured in my brain when I read it. I wanted it to be as detailed as possible.
I'm right here with you.
The tiger itself is symbolic of so many things. It's a beast that Reba is able to touch in the same way that she's able to touch the beast of the dragon. And it's also one of the most romantic things I've ever read in literature, of a man who feels so much for a woman and wants to give her the gift of enjoying a zoo experience, but she can't have a normal zoo experience because she's blind, so he's arranged for her to touch the animals that she can't see. And as Reba said, it's one of the most elegant, eloquent gestures of courtship that I've ever read.
I remember I had music, I listened to music that day, and I had my headphones in all day so that I could just sort of zone out. But every time I went there to touch, I remember I just kind of let myself try to discover different parts each time.
It was very important to me to bring a specificity to that scene, since we had seen it twice before, that was unique to our show, and the idea of Reba encouraging Frances to describe what he sees so she can experience the tiger through his eyes, and him talking about how its color is so vibrant that it's practically bleeding into the air around it. We amped up all of the color in post so the tiger was glowing after that point, and when her hands are running through its fur, it is vibrant and alive in a way that only exists in the imagination of someone who can't actually see what it is representing to her in that moment.
But just being aware of a beast, the tiger, and the beast of Dollarhide, man, and how sexual that is when you're feeling an animal that is that big and that massive and violent and dangerous at your fingertips. And there's a man who you don't know is dangerous, but he's watching you and you feel him watching you. And that energy that's passing between that room was incredible.
And to have us feel that, and I think that's what that whole thing, the whole scenario sets up, is the innocence of her, the danger that he presents is also the danger of the tiger, even though the tiger is put down for dental work. But the sensuality then of her laying into the tiger, feeling the tiger, and his also wanting to do the same, but on her. I mean, that's a human emotion.
So many things about both Rutina and Richard's performance in that scene struck me as genuinely emotional. When her hand is caressing the tiger's maw, and his hand comes up to touch his own maw. He's like living vicariously through this beast who is getting the affection that he desires so much from this woman that it is almost an out-of-body experience.
I found it touching in the book. I think I cried, actually, because I was like, how awesome is that for him to go, I'm gonna take you to the zoo. There's a tiger. If you want to touch it. You know, like and she's like, yeah, you know, but she gets in there and it takes her breath away. It really, really does, but she's not scared, you know? And I think me as Rutina, I was like, nah, I don't know if I can come in with the tiger. Is he asleep? You sure you're not gonna wake up? I think I would be terrified, but Reva dives right on in. And that's another thing that I loved about her, is that she's confident. She's not scared of anything.
Guillermo Navarro, who directed that episode, did such a wonderful job in those scenes of putting us in the point of view of a blind person who can only imagine what's going on around her and not see anything.
And they made the tiger so real, and they had the little ears moving, and it was easy because they set the scene in a way that all I had to do was discover. Honestly, as an actor, like really allow myself to just discover. I'll never forget that. I remember a lot of people thought it was real. They were like, was that a real tiger? And I'm like, mm-hmm. Like, no, it wasn't real.
Well, I know on 2 of the shows we did real tigers, and I wasn't up there for this last one. That's a real tiger. Where do you get a fake tiger like that?
So I was like scared when I was approaching that scene. I was like, is it gonna be real or fake? Fake, okay. Because I was like, I was mentally preparing myself that I might actually have to touch her sleeping tiger. And they were like, we would never do that to you. And I was like, thank you.